good. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Eatbook Food Guide. Today we are here with Eatbook's giant, Bolin Chu.
Bolin Chu is who? Is it Sonia Chu's brother or something?
You wish, bro, you wish.
What do you mean?
You wish.
I know from last time, right? The
Yeah.
Caesar's cut curry rice. You mentioned something, but I'm not sure whether we are eating that today. So can you tell
Yes, so after like months of begging Eatbook, we are going to be eating Wanton Mee.
me? Wow, finally, it's
Are you
been
a
a
Wanton
while.
Mee fan?
My favorite Singapore noodle
Really?
is Wanton Mee.
So today we are going to be finding the best Wanton Mee in Singapore. Do you know if you prefer the soup or the dry one?
In my mind, from my memory, I don't remember the soup one.
I was so wrong. They were asking me if I prefer soup or dry. I was like, who eats
Right.
soup?
Yeah.
Unless you are above the age of 70, you should not be eating Wanton Mee with soup.
You
Makes no
scare
sense.
me there a bit, you know.
You're close. Bolin
Oh,
close.
you know,
bro.
what close one?
I think next year you can review the soup
Don't
once.
make me
Next
so
year you can review the
vulgarity on Eatbook's video, okay? I only saw like the so-called soup version of Wanton Mee like a few times only.
Yeah, the best Wanton Mee I ever had, right? I ended up drinking the sauce. So like, I'm curious if I'll find any that can match that today.
So shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go, come.
Alright, we are now gonna taste our first Wanton Mee. Right now what we have is the TT Signature Char Siew Wanton Mee. This is the 550 version. If I'm not wrong, this Wanton Mee has been on the Michelin guide for the last 10 years.
10
but I've
years.
actually never heard about it. So I'm quite
Right.
curious to try. 10 years is quite a long time eh.
No wonder here got some, got the Michelin one. At first time eat wonton noodle, I cannot see the noodle one.
I was just about to say.
Right.
It's the most generous serving of char siu that I've ever seen in my life.
For 550, this is medium ready. I think, especially at a hawker setting, right?
Yeah.
This is really worth the price.
Very worth.
Okay, I'll eat this first.
Yeah, so you try
I try
the
first.
first.
Now I understand why the queue is this long. The producers were, queuing up to buy the noodles for us, right? We chatted like a good 30 to 40
I
minutes.
feel like a podcast. I thought we were filming a podcast here.
If we speak hour, 1.5 hours, I think it's still quite worth it.
Like, we were raving about the char siu, right? This char siu is very interesting because it has a very smoky flavor. Yeah, I usually only taste with bak kwa.
Yes.
I've never actually tasted this with Wanton Mee char siu.
Wanton Mee before,
Because
right?
most times you said they are so lazy, they just serve these like very dry pieces of like almost cardboard char siu.
Yes.
That they just add the red colouring to.
And the char siu they give is thick THICC one.
The noodles by itself
Actually, yeah.
is so good. Like,
But
you actually don't need anything else.
I feel that the sauce is good here, but I just feel that it can be more saucy.
Yes, it's a bit on the dry.
It's a bit slightly drier.
Yes.
Now comes the...
Move on to the wonton.
Yes. We have the fried one.
Are we trying
and
the fried one first?
Let's try the fried one first.
Chase that dream, ain't no time to retreat. Come on, get on up.
This one, right, I think they nailed the seasoning for the fried skin quite well. And then the inside is also has its
It's
own
so
seasoning.
good. Yes. The seasoning inside is almost like
It's not just salty, but the meat itself has its own flavor.
Yeah.
Then the fried wonton, has its own flavor. So it's like a
it comes
dimensional
together
flavor.
very nicely.
Yeah.
It's very full and it's very balanced. And as you said, like you can taste both the skin and the filling.
Yes. So the skin is like 6.
Yeah.
Then the wonton is like the 7. So you can 6, 7. Lastly, let's try the normal soup wonton. A lot of soup wonton is exactly the same as the fried one.
Yes.
But not fried. But this one, if you look carefully, right, their
It's
soup
two separate
wonton,
ones.
they know that their so-called unfried wonton skin is gonna be lesser, right? So they actually compensate that with more filling, if you can tell, right?
The soup is not the standard Wanton Mee. A lot of times the Wanton Mee soup, right, is like an afterthought almost. This is like, it's a bit more herbally, and it's a
Herbal,
bit
yes.
sweeter
Because
than
of the-
usual.
because of the dates, yes.
It's not like artificial sweetness, You can tell it's coming from the dates.
Yes. So the soup itself, the sweetness from the soup and the dates, right, it actually seep in a little bit. So when you eat the Wanton Mee, right, it's actually a little bit xian, salty. And it's also a little bit sweet. So far, right, out of 5 wontons, I will give it a solid 4 wontons.
I will give you a 5. To me, this is a really, really good plate of Wanton Mee.
So how about let's finish this and then we move on to the next one.
Okay, sounds
Let's
good.
go. Okay, so now we are here at our second stop called Laifaba, and here we are. We have now a very different kind of
Very
wonton mee.
different.
So yours is actually the signature noodle, dry noodle wonton mee.
I think this will be more typical to what we usually have.
Yes.
It's kind of the Singapore
The
style
Singapore
one.
style one.
I think yours is the
Singapore
interesting
style,
one.
you know why or not?
Got
For
the
Singapore,
flag,
they
bro.
need to tell you first. They need to make sure that it's Singapore one. But now, the funny thing is, for my one, right, it is actually the signature dark egg noodle.
I've never heard of duck egg noodles before.
Actually, I also never.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I've never tried it before.
I'll be very curious what it tastes like.
Maybe I tried it before, but I just didn't
You
know.
didn't know. So I think the sauce is going to be a bit more of a dark sauce here.
Yes.
Whereas this is a bit more of a traditional
A bit of
Singapore.
a dark sauce. So now, the char siu that they use here, right, is actually of different levels of fattiness.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can actually choose your cut, okay? You can choose from lean, mixed, or fatty. So for ours, right, they got us
I think we got
mixed.
medium.
What medium mix lah? Medium. You think what?
Same.
550 huh? Is it
Medium rare. I thought it's medium rare or something.
And then I realized one more thing is actually the wonton is mostly the soup one. It's not like
I
the
didn't
fried one is
notice.
like the wonton skin. Actually, I can't wait to dig in.
So the soup, once again, is also very different. So I believe they said it was a scallop collagen soup.
That's a very thick wonton.
It's packed with a lot of filling.
You know how the soup actually has seasoning and flavor and saltiness and savouriness to it. I scared if I drink and eat with the wonton, maybe it will be very salty. But it's not.
That
Because-
like slight seafood flavor.
Yes.
It's a very nice contrast because everything here is very like porky, right? While the soup is a bit more subtle almost with their seafood flavor. Okay, I'm going to try the char siu first. How about you steal a piece of my char siu? Then we can try it together. So as you can tell, it's a lot thicker. I would say it's on the fatty side. So it really melts in your mouth.
So it's actually the fat, right? And then a thin strip of lean meat, and then fat again, and then a thin strip of lean meat. So when you bite it, right, the heat coming off from your tongue, right, actually starts melting a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when you just press it with a bit of pressure, right, you just split open nicely.
You know what? With that, I think it's time to try the noodles.
You must try this one first, cause my one, how about I try together lah?
Just looking at it, I would say it's on the drier type of wonton mee also. It's not the overly saucy type. First things first, the noodles are very, very springy. The previous one was a bit more al dente, but this has a very nice bounce to it.
For my noodle, right, they use the darker sauce, right?
Yeah.
So it's also giving it a bit more of a different kind of a mouth.
Yeah, definitely quite different, the two both.
It's a kind
It
of
works well,
wonton mee texture and savouriness that I prefer.
With the wonton skin, right, it really elevates it, as you said. Because it's like, you're having like wonton mee, right? Like everything is springy and soft, and then suddenly the wonton skin.
Yes.
You know? I don't know if we mentioned it yet. The egg is really good, by the way. I feel like the egg works super, super well with the dish.
Yes.
Surprisingly, because like, I've never seen this before.
And I think, right, the key here is not that it's just any egg. It has to be the onsen egg,
Yes.
soft and runny.
Gooey almost.
Yes, and gooey. It should be softer than the noodle so that it doesn't destroy the consistency of the noodle.
Yep.
So it melts together very nicely.
Yeah, I feel like the egg gives the whole dish a very nice mouthfeel.
Yes. I only wish, right, that their pork lard is more flavor. I feel like it's a bit on the milder side. I think I'm ready to give my score already. 1, 2, 3. 4 out of 5. Ooh.
We got the same! Alright, we are at our final stop of the day. We are at Chef Kang's Noodle House in
Wow.
Payoh. This bowl costs us $7.
$7.
But it's a pretty generous portion, I would say.
If you guys want, you also get to choose the $12 option, which is with the shredded abalone. And then this is also the place where the soup wonton is just there and no fried wonton. It's very juicy and plump.
It's definitely different from the other two. It's more on the peppery side of things.
Yes.
The dumplings actually have black fungus,
Yes.
they have minced pork, they have chives, and they
Yes.
have prawns. So when I bit it, I was almost like, wow, it wasn't what I was expecting.
I think this one, right, in terms of flavor is simpler, but in terms of ingredients and the different textures,
It's a bit more going
it's
into
a
it.
bit, yes.
Yeah. Shall we
Now-
start with the noodles?
Yes.
I wasn't expecting the dark sauce though. This
Me
is a
too,
lot darker than
because-
I thought.
Yeah.
You look at the noodles itself,
Ooh.
this is very different from the previous noodles that we've had. It's much thinner,
Yes.
I think.
Right.
So it should be quite different. I'll be interested to see which one works better.
They nailed the sauciness that I like. I don't need to bite as much. It's smooth. One downside is I think the noodle is a bit closer to the usual yellow noodle that they use.
This yellow noodle taste is actually what is a bit more unique about these noodles.
The signature, basically.
They kind of have this taste. So I think a lot of people tend to like this, but for me personally, the alkaline taste that comes with yellow
Alkaline,
noodle
yes.
is not something that I like if it's too prominent.
But I feel it's on the side of a little bit more al dente than usual.
Now let's move on to the char sao.
Yeah.
This is a very long and thick cut. I love this char sao. This char sao is a lot more closer to the traditional style.
Yes.
The flavoring is perfect. Like it's just nice, you have a very nice char on it, but very nice sweetness to it still.
So in this case, the style of this wonton noodles is really still retaining a bit of that yellow noodle taste.
Yeah.
But then they nailed nicely the whole char siu. I feel this is more of a preference thing.
It's definitely a personal preference
Yeah.
thing. I can imagine like some people really loving this dish because this is actually probably the most traditional bowl we've had today. Are you ready? I
Yeah.
feel like we'll give you the same score. 3, 2, 1, 3 star.
Three.
Alright, see, I know you, man. I was like, I know we're gonna give you the same. Yeah.
So, which was your favorite wonton?
Ooh. Okay, I know mine already, but I'm very curious to hear yours.
Actually, I also know mine already, but I'm very curious.
Hey! Is yours the second one?
Actually, it is the second one. So because of the springiness and with the dark sauce, right?
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the eggs, the scallop collagen soup.
I was about to say you
raw.
forgot the soup. The
Yeah.
soup for the second place was amazing.
And the fact that although they don't have the fried wonton, right?
They
do
had the
have
fried wonton skin.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine,
Yes.
I gotta go with number 1. I was actually blown away by that first bowl of Wanton Mee. I think, if I'm not wrong, it's the only 5-star I gave today. And to me, it really deserves it. Because each and every component of that was so strong. The char sao had that amazing bakwa flavor to it. The noodles had a very nice al dente mouthfeel to it, which I really liked. The soup was very good. And the dumplings, they were seasoned like perfectly well.
Yes.
Last but not least, I didn't really factor this in my ratings. But from a price point, $5.50 for the amount of char sao they gave us, the fact that you have soup and dry wontons is very impressive. I'm so glad they put us on Wanton Mee.
Yes.
What do you think we should do next?
We already tried the Caesar sky curry rice. We already tried the wonton mee.
Should we do Hokkien Mee?
Yes, Hokkien mee.
Hey, don't call us back unless it's Hokkien Mee.
Yeah. No, call me back.
Hey,
I need money.
Thank you for watching this episode of Ebook Food Guide.
If you like this video, you can watch more over there. And don't forget to
Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Alright,
Hokkien mee
Hokkien Mee time.
With you again.
Hey.
Hey, eat a lot with you.